Get ready to dive into a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borderlands of men. The Adventurer Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, or as we like to call it, Acts 2, is now live on Kickstarter. Acts 2 is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. You'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, or even conquer an empire, Acts 2 supports your playstyle. Acts 2 integrates experience point mechanics, making campaign activities a seamless part of the core gameplay loop. Your character levels up in new and exciting ways each time you play, adding massive replayability to each of your adventures. Acts 2 offers 18 character classes, 378 spells, new combat mechanics, and so much more. Support Acts 2 on Kickstarter today. Welcome to Knocked Prone, a podcast of high crits, small fits, and varying wits. My name is Cade, and I am the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the players.
Mason, playing Lak'yr.
Brooklyn, playing Litsea.
Danny, playing Tess.
Caden, playing Blink.
Awesome. All right, so as last we left our adventurers, they were fighting some golems in the library. Well, they set one of the golems on fire, which set off a smoke alarm, closing the door with a steel safe lock and the windows, and started sucking the air out, as well as turned on the sprinklers to make matters worse, I guess. And Litsea got knocked unconscious from the lack of oxygen. Before we get started, Caden, we did not roll Blink's stuff at all last session, or Wild Magic table. So if you want to roll me 2 d20s.
Yes. All right, first one is... Oh, am I adding anything to this, or just
It's
regular?
just a Wild Magic,
Okay.
yeah, so.
First one's 5.
Okay.
Second one's 14.
Okay, awesome. So roll me 2 d100s now.
Okay, I got 70 and 20.
What's your maximum hit points? Like, what are you at health-wise right now?
Max hit points are 14. I'm currently at 12.
Okay. I'm so sorry. So
What have you done?
Fireball centered on self.
no. So with the 70 on the bad magic table, because that's 1 through 5, you immediately take 2d6 points of psychic or 2d6 psychic damage.
Dang.
That is 9 points of damage that you take.
Okay.
But with a 20 on the medium table, you immediately gain 15 temporary hit points.
Nice.
So it comes back around.
So I take damage and then I'm just like, heal. Help.
For a second, like Blink's like going crazy. He's like,
Yeah.
like falling to the ground a little bit, and then all of a sudden, like,
You said temporary hit points, right?
Yes, so you get
Okay.
15. And it's just, yeah.
Are temporary hit points okay to go over your max? Because I have like a separate section for those on my sheet. So
Yeah, so
Okay.
you can temporary hit points are just like additional hit points that you can get. They go away first. So if you got hit right now for 15 hit points, all your temporary hit points would go away.
Okay.
Instead of any of your regular hit points.
Awesome.
That way, so if you lose them, you don't get knocked unconscious from nothing. So anyway,
how long do those last?
an unspecified amount of time for the
okay.
Wild Magic table.
Alrighty, well, hearing Blink scream out for like half a second, like I'll be like, Blink, come here, and I'll try one more time with the lock. I fail 7.
So with a 7, you don't.
Which one am I doing right now? Do
The
I do
intelligence
the intelligence
check.
again?
Mm-hmm.
So the 7, it would be an 8 with my.
Dang.
Yeah.
So with an intelligence check, it's still, even though you know what it's about, you still you can't really recall. So Litsea's unconscious. Lak'yr, you're next to the employees only wall behind a couple of the banners. Blink, are you walking over to the lock? Or are you walking towards the wall to the water?
So I'm still following the water. Just kind of like, because I mean they're handling that situation. I have intelligence of -1, so
perfect.
I'm probably not going to be able to help them out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like looking at other options while they're focused on like the most obvious one right now. So yeah, so I'm still following the water, trying to see if I can find a drain or somewhere that this water is going.
Okay.
Just to try to get us a safe way out of here. So that's still what I'm looking for. If you want me to keep looking, I'll keep rolling.
Yeah, roll
Okay.
for me.
What does inspiration do?
Inspiration lets you re-roll.
Should probably be using that. You're like, yeah.
Speaking of that, I will use an inspiration point.
How inspiring.
Yes, let's see if it's better than what I just rolled.
Yeah, you hear the Knocked Prone theme song and the B movie at the
Hey.
same time.
Okay, that was way better. 21.
21. All right. Yeah, you find a grate in the floor that was it's melded into the stone. But as you kind of peek down to it, you feel a little bit of air trickling up through it, and you now have some extra time with breathing.
Okay.
Lak'yr.
I am going, just kind of in the desperate state of mind that I am in, I am going to just start, knowing that it is magic of some sort, I am just going to start running my hands down it and just wildly, like, pressing different bricks or trying, like, there's no rhyme or reason to anything I'm doing. I'm just, like, raking, like, similar to, like, how you would, like, an elevator if you're trying to activate all the buttons.
Right.
Like, just, yeah.
Okay. So as you keep hitting the wall, go ahead and roll me a history check to see if you remember anything about this wall.
Okay. Natural 20 and 10, so 15.
I'm calling your natural 20 a natural 20 because I like natural 20s. So we're going to go in lieu of, because anyway, you technically would have rolled straight because like you're at disadvantage, but it would have been an advantage because you've been in the library a lot. So with your natural 20, you recall a select like group. Is it echelon? Is echelon the word? You remember a select echelon of people from the library having these like light blue bowler hats that they wore around. And as you're hitting your hands on this wall, the employees only is like pinging like yellow. Like every time you hit the wall, it says employees only.
I will run back to where I saw the man exit and put his bowler hat up. At least that I recall. I remember that the last person out was like the foreman, and he said that he hung
In the
something.
cabinet?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm going to run over and
So the cabinet's like swinging open with like the vacuum of air that was created, and yeah, you see a group of hats, bowler hat, a sombrero, baseball cap. They're all cyan blue.
baseball. No, I'll take
Baseball
the bowler
cap.
hat.
I mean, it's your choice.
I'll take the bowler hat.
Yeah, you take the bowler hat, and yeah.
Okay, I'll start running back.
Okay, and with that, we're gonna go over to Litsea. Make me a death saving throw.
Not this again.
Oh my god!
3.
3. Okay, that's 1 in the column.
You better hope there's always someone around to revive you.
Right? Right?
You might
I'm
want
never gonna be alone.
invest in some new dice.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
If you want, these dice are for you too. If you want, they're not as orange.
Maybe Litsea's just a little unlucky.
Maybe. Tess, I believe. Would you like to give a
So-
crack at the lock again?
Well, remembering what she said about the bag,
Yeah.
I'm going to run over to Litsea. I'm going to take her bag, put it over my head, take like a couple big breaths, and then like take in a big breath and hold it, and then remove it. I guess I don't know if I can do this all in one like
No, that's perfect.
action, but then I'd put a gooseberry, you're gonna be a little bit
Goodberry.
stuffed. You're gonna have some like
Yeah.
You're gonna be like in a food coma for a little bit, and I'll like force her to eat it, and then put the bag over, almost like I'm suffocating her, and like try to like tie it around her neck, and like maybe open a little bit of bag. Stay in here for a little bit.
She wakes up to a black, endless void. Is this death?
Yeah. So you pop up with one HP, 2 levels of exhaustion, which halves your movement speed.
Or okay,
Yes.
do I know enough about
Your
the bag
speed
of
is
holding
halved.
to just like push her all the way in, so it's not like the bag? I'm like worried about the bag losing air.
It's fine. It works either way. So yeah,
Okay.
you come back into consciousness. Like purple spots are all in your eyes for quite some time as you're like heaving this air. But you can look down and there's like a sliver from where the bag is opened that you can see outside, and you kind of knowing.
Yeah.
Your
Well, my
bag of
hands,
holding.
are out there. I
Yeah.
can like feel kind of what's going on.
Yeah. So yeah, you're back alive. Yeah. So with that, what would you like to do with your new health, Litsea?
I seriously, again, I just think I'm going to be in a stupor for a second and be absolutely useless.
Okay. That is perfectly okay. Blink.
Obviously, I found that grate where the water was pouring in. There was some air bubbling up. Do I notice that this would be in any possible way, either a way out or a way to? I mean, yeah, I guess basically just a way out.
Yeah, so you can hear the water trickling down, and it seems like there's some sort of system that would be big enough that you could fit through it.
Okay. But the question is, if I jump down there, am I gonna get like a sink disposal? You know, that wouldn't be
That's true.
good for me.
For me personally,
I see that this is a possible way out.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna remember where I found this. I mean, obviously, I would let the rest of my friends know before just abandoning them. You know.
Yep.
So, so I'm gonna run back over to Lak'yr and just kind of see what kind of progress he's made, and let him know, like, hey, I found a water grate. Could potentially be a way out of here. What have you been able to find out?
I will have like my cheeks holding breath and like being blue, and I'll just point to the hat, point to the cabinet, and I'm running straight down the hallway and I'm like putting it on my head and like probably full gung hoing at like just throwing myself at the wall.
You 9 3/4 it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you run straight through the wall with Lak'yr. You run straight through this brick wall. You see a dimly lit room with a bunch of books in it, and you fall unconscious. But nobody can see him now because he's behind a magical wall.
He knows where I am at the very
Yeah,
least.
that was good. That was your saving grace right there.
Did anybody
felt
actually
so bad.
watch him go through the wall?
Yeah.
I assumed that Blink would
Okay,
have
okay.
because they were
Yeah.
just talking. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I guess. I mean, if I'm right there with Lak'yr, I guess I would go into that same room and see if that's any different as far as oxygen, or like at the same time looking at my surroundings and seeing what we have to work with in this new room.
Well, so you get to the end of the hallway, and there is the employees only brick wall sign. And as you press your hand into it, you can't really. Like it
Okay.
pings at you with the employees only sign.
And he's knocked unconscious with the bowler's hat on the other side of the wall. You said there was like a baseball hat and
And a sombrero.
a sombrero.
And also a helmet. Yes.
Okay.
Bike helmet.
A bike
Nice.
helmet.
I'm gonna run and grab the sombrero,
Okay.
putting the sombrero on, hoping it's not a mimic or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Also, I want to throw out there that by this time, like, I only had the bag of holding on my head for like a minute or less.
Okay.
And so, like, it's off of my head now, and I'm viewing.
What are you doing, Tess?
I'm running back to the lock right now.
Okay. But you're unconscious.
No, I'm conscious
she's back
now.
with one hit point.
Okay,
With
that's
the
right.
good
That's
berry.
right. Okay, cool. Then never mind. If you were still unconscious, I was gonna carry you and try to 9 3/4 with you to try to, because if you were unconscious, but since you're alive, I'm not
You
gonna
go
do that.
through, but she just smashes into a brick wall.
Yeah.
Another failed death saving throw for you.
Or she like gets caught halfway between the wall. Just
Yeah, because the hat like touches. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I love the verb 9 3/4ing.
Yeah. So, with the sombrero, I'm gonna 9 3/4 that wall with the sombrero and see if anything happens.
Okay. Yep. So you run full sprint and you make it straight through the brick wall.
Nice.
And you kind of trip over Lak'yr's body as you enter into this dimly lit room. To the right of you, you can see a lot of bookcases. Above the bookshelf is labeled The Forgotten. In the middle of this room is a large well. And you're getting some serious cultist vibes from this room.
Okay.
Like black robes hung on the walls, dimly lit torches that are kind of like flickering, and like some symbols that don't seem to be gods that you would know of.
Okay. Can I breathe?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. First thing I want to do, even though Lak'yr is unconscious on the ground, technically I'm still like chaotic neutral. So I'm going to decide to take it in my own best interest to check out those robes and see if maybe there's something cool going on with those robes that might help me out. Yeah. So I'm looking for some. Yeah.
It's like a telltale game. Lak'yr will remember now. Lakyrs unconscious.
Roll me a perception check.
A 10.
Okay, a 10. Roll me a D100.
I don't know if I like where this is going. A 30.
Oh, nice. You find a cantrip spell scroll.
Sick.
It is blank.
Dope.
And so you can use it to learn a new cantrip, but somebody has to write that cantrip on it for you.
Oh,
So yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Cool.
that's what you find in this spell scroll, or
Okay.
in this black robe. But yeah.
I can dig that. Okay. Nextly, I don't think I have a healing kit on me or whatever those are called.
I did have a healing potion on me from the cleric's hive.
Oh, the honey.
That we got when we were all there. So you technically would know about it. I just don't know if your character would remember it.
Okay. So I mean, if I was there, maybe. But
You
what
were
do
there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, like...
It
I
was
w-
yesterday. So
It was yesterday.
okay.
So,
So-
I'd say you safely could do that.
Yeah. I absolutely remember that.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, I'm gonna walk over to Lak'yr, remembering he has a health potion on him, and I'm gonna baby bird this health potion to him. So first I'm gonna swish it around in my mouth, and then slowly drizzle it into his mouth.
Okay,
Beautiful moment.
Blink, you regain 2 hit points. Lak'yr, you regain 9. As like some of the residue stays on your tongue from baby burning it into his mouth. And he like
different
wakes
culture.
Up, he wakes up and you're like, drink up, little one.
Well, I like to imagine that like I would wake up with a gasp, considering like I was like suffocating, and like just like imagining like number one, dragonborn mouth on a elf mouth that's like you're just like
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
But you wake up in this cultish room. You've never been here before. You've never heard of this room, and you've been in the library a lot.
okay. I will kind of like go look around. I will probably push you off of me first of all and be just like, thank you.
The ringing that was happening that was giving you a headache is deafening now. And
I
it's
will-
coming from the bookcase to your right.
I will go, and it's familiar to the book that is like it's my book kind of ringing.
The ringing is coming from your book, but
I-
it's loud.
Okay. I will go over to wherever the ringing is and find the bookshelf and try to find my book.
Yeah, so you're well able to find your book. I mean, it'd be hard to miss it with how loud this ringing is. And you find your book, and it is on the forgotten bookshelf.
Okay. I will go and kind of like... My character will feel conflicted, both happy and a little annoyed but he'll just take it. And then I also kind of want to look at the other books and see if any of the other missing ones that we were looking for earlier are up there.
Yes. So the other two that you were looking for, or the other one that you were looking for that you didn't find was Hive Master Holly's, right? And that was it?
Hive Master Holly's, and...
Litsea's father?
Yes, but I think we found Litsea's
We did
father.
find Litsea's father. Or Blink found Litsea's father's, yeah.
Did I find mine?
You did.
I did? Okay. I couldn't remember if I was one that
No.
couldn't find it. Okay,
found
cool.
yours.
Awesome.
So, yes, you pick up Hive Master Holly's book. It is a bookcase without any pages. They've been torn out of it.
All right. Well, I will still happily take
Right.
both of the cases and...
And the other book, you find the spell book that the wizards described to you. And would you like to inspect it?
I would say
Maybe later.
my
After people aren't
character is a little
suffocating.
conflicted, but also, I mean, he would probably he wouldn't do a thorough investigation, but he'd probably thumb it open to take a look inside, if that makes sense.
So, hollowed out in the bookcase cover is a small book, and it is labeled the Magic Caster's Handbook, and it is the replica of the book that you have, but it's just a small journal version, like a handheld version, rather than this book. And so you can add that into your inventory if you'd like. But yeah, you find that.
I'll go and kind of realizing what it is, I will definitely pocket that. I'll put just the case. Actually, no, I will keep the case.
5 Mother Hollies.
Well, no, of the
big book.
Yeah, the big book. Just I'll basically pocket the smaller book and then keep the bigger book just in my arm, and I'll say, "Blink, Blink, go and get the others," and I'll basically just continue being enthralled, looking at all of the different books.
Okay. So yes, we're gonna go back around to Litsea and Tess for a second here. Litsea, what are you up to?
Yeah. While all of that was going on, despite my high level of exhaustion, I have taken my great club and am pounding at the brick wall. I'm not getting very far. I imagine.
Which brick wall? The employees only brick wall?
No.
At a brick wall.
Just a brick wall.
Should have been.
Okay.
No, just one that I think is like an exterior wall.
Okay.
I'm trying to make some headway at the wall.
Okay. roll me a natural 20.
Yeah.
Natural one.
You start to feel woozy, but you don't fall unconscious.
Well, thank goodness.
So you start to think maybe I should conserve my energy a little more. But
I don't know. Do I? I don't know if I think
I don't know
that.
if you think that. Maybe not. Maybe it passes through your brain, but then you're like, stupid conscious. Get out of here. Tess, what are you up to?
I'm gonna give it another go. Here we go, baby.
Intelligence check.
11.
With your prior knowledge, an 11 passes. Make me a sleight of hand check. You can do it. You can do it.
Natural 20. We did it.
All right, with a natural 20, the lock goes, and the door swings open, and a breath of warm, fresh air just capsizes over you, and you are fully able to breathe openly again, and you kind of you get a gasp of night, a evening air breath.
I sit down.
Okay, yeah, probably really tired. I was going to say you were going to fall unconscious pretty soon here, but I guess you had the bag. So, anyway, yeah. So the door is now open. Lak'yr is in the other room. Blink, are you running back to tell the others?
Yeah, yep. So with my sombrero, heading back through the wall and going to check on these guys. So
Okay. So you relay the information, I assume, about the hats and the employees only.
Yeah.
section?
So yep. So running out there, I'm gonna see.
I like your hat.
Yeah. Thanks. I see you finally got the door open. But grab one of those hats, and I have something cool to show you.
Okay.
So which hats are you guys grabbing? There's that bike helmet and a baseball cap.
I'm like on all fours on the floor at this point. I just yelled at Tess, "Grab me a hat too!"
I'll
and
go
start
over.
crawling towards like the
I'll get-
employees only wall.
I'll get the helmet and the hat. Then I'll walk over and I'll buckle the helmet onto Litsea.
She probably needs it.
Like I put it on, but then I like make sure to buckle it, and then I'll like support her
As you buckle
we
it,
Get
some
up.
elbow pads and knee pads come out with it too, so you're able to like buckle those. So you're like fully ready to rollerblade or something.
Alrighty, and then the minute like we start getting ready to go to the wall, I'll like take my baseball hat and I'll like put it on, but then I'll do like an Ash Ketchum, like
Oh, sick.
like flip back, and
Yeah.
then just start going at it.
Okay, yeah. So you guys are all able to go into the room if you'd like. Litsea may be a little slower than everyone else, half movement speed and crawling. So
Oh, I have to check on Tess though. Is he dead?
Tess.
Yeah.
Oh, Lak'yr.
No, sorry, Tim.
Tim.
Oh, Tim. I have to Google. Do grasshoppers breathe air?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Any living thing brings out.
I don't know if he'd be full dead or not, but like, is he
Long
unconscious?
Do
Did you forget? Would you have forgotten about him? You know, would
'Cause
you
you
have
could
thrown
shove
him in the bag of holding?
Yeah, I don't think I would have.
Yeah.
Although I did.
I don't think you would have either.
I don't
so
think Tess would have. I think you did.
Yeah. I'm
Insects
gonna say
and
when
some
I
other
got
inverted-
in the bag, I definitely would have helped him in. He's fine. He's fine.
when you stuck your head in the bag, Tess hopped off your shoulder because he was about to pass out as well. Or Tim hopped off your shoulder, and he's kind of been pinging back and forth in this in this bag. So
Oh, poor Litsea
so-
had to deal with.
yeah, like
that.
she thought it was just one of the purple spots that she was seeing, but really it was like Tim, the grasshopper, hopping around in the bag of holding. And so Tim, like as soon as like the air returns to the room, hops out of the bag and hops onto your shoulder, Tess.
Okay. That's a stress relief.
Okay.
We're all right.
Pets in D&D are like amazing, but also the saddest thing in the world.
Also, grasshoppers don't live forever. Just to throw that out there. It's like 14 days.
He gets a new grasshopper continually and just continues calling it Tim.
But like every 2
Yeah.
weeks, he like has
So,
a complete
like-
meltdown.
So, like, retroactively knowing grasshoppers die in 14 days now, that's definitely what happens. Is like when they die, I'll like do like a little burial and just get a new Tim.
So, yeah, okay. And this grasshopper actually you've had for, you can recall, 2 years now.
Oh,
Wait,
so
this
there's-
grasshopper?
You were given this grasshopper by
so this is
the
not
druids.
like that case.
You were given this
Oh.
grasshopper by the druids and have a thought that maybe it has some magical qualities about it.
Scabbers.
Peter
No
Pettigrew.
question. Tim is full on like it's the power of our friendship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tim and Tess. All right. So you guys are in the cultists' room. What would you like to do while you're in here? There's a bookcase that is labeled The Forgotten, a well filled with water in the middle of the room. There seems to be like some torture, like some manacles and some things in another corner of the room. And there's a bunch of black robes around and some unholy symbols.
Okay. My main concern is going to be the holy symbols. I want to, I think that my character wouldn't really know what they were, but would recognize like that it's a symbol of a group or obviously something like that. And so right now he's just going around trying to gather anything he feels could be used as evidence against his father.
Okay.
And then when you guys come in, I'll say, "Oh, you made it. Good. I don't know how long we'll have to be in here, but we can always come back in here for some fresh air as we're figuring out the trap."
We got the door open.
Oh,
We're all right.
Well done, Litsea. I'll
Snap.
I'll
I say, thank you.
Your pounding on the wall did something.
Yeah, I actually think that oh, it's totally me.
yeah, you activated the secret button. But yeah, I'll go. Look around. Look for anything you feel is suspicious or different or odd. Let's put it in this bag of holding, and we can use all of this. I found Hive Mother Holly's book as well, and I'll go and show and say, but it's empty. So I don't believe it will be used for any evidence precisely. However, it is proof that something's going on. I also found my own. Help yourselves. Find anything you can. And I want to just start going around. I think the biggest thing that I would start investigating is probably the manacles and torture stuff that you said was there. Is there anything interesting that I can find, besides obvious torture stuff?
Dried blood flecks are on all the on the manacles, and as you look at the torture stuff, you see a trail of dried blood leading to the well in the center of the room.
Oh, I won't share that with anybody quite right away. I'll just continue trying to gather information.
After hearing Lak'yr's instructions, I'm going to be right. Thank you. I'm going to investigate the floor, and then just keep crawling around and see if I can see anything on the floor.
You see a blood trail leading from the manacles and torture stuff to the well in the middle of the room. Very closely, you get your elbows in the blood.
Yeah, so as soon as I do that, I yell, "Blood! I see blood!"
Yes, this is disturbing for sure. Are you all right? Do you need a... Oh, I'm not feeling the best either. I'll kind of sit down on the ground, adrenaline kind of ending, and yeah.
Lak'yr, I'm feeling fantastic. I don't know why you would ask. I'm feeling just wonderful.
The adrenaline's still going for you a little bit.
I'm just really delusional.
Oh, gotcha.
At this point, practically laying down in the blood. I just don't care.
All right, well, I'm going to follow the blood trail.
Okay.
Real quick.
Yeah. So it leads straight from the torture stuff, and it looks like there's drag marks, to the well in the center of the room, and the blood goes up to the side of the well, and then it stops at the water.
I'm going to look down the well.
Okay. Roll me perception.
Nice.
Nice.
Natural one.
It looks like water.
Looks
You have an inspiration point if you wanted to use it, but it looks like water.
I'm just I see it. I'm just okay, I don't know. And then I'm just going to run back and be I think we should get out of here.
Not until we're certain we have everything.
As soon as I hear that, I just start shoveling things into the bag of holding.
I will similarly go around. I want to the first thing I'll grab is any of the torture tools that are active, that actually are covered in blood. I want to
They're
gather.
all covered in blood.
Okay, so I'll just gather a few of those, as well as at least one or two of the sets of black robes, just for some kind of evidence, as well as any of the holy symbols that I can find.
The unholy. Yeah.
The unholy symbols.
Yeah.
As I watch them shove everything into the bag of holding, in my deliriousness, I'm going to say, I'm not carrying that back home.
I've got it.
Even
It's
though
5 pounds.
I know, even though it doesn't
Okay.
weigh any different, I'm just seeing them shovel all this stuff in there, and I hand it to Tess.
Alrighty, so I'm going to roll now because I'm not looking at what I'm taking, but I'm definitely trying to take things that look important. So I'm just going to roll, and then you can tell us later when we go through it.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Okay, awesome.
Nice.
So
Fire.
a lot
Hey,
of these,
dice you got me.
yeah, one or
Juice.
20 juice. Yeah,
And it's because I'm using the off color one because it came with
Oh.
both an on color one and an off, and I used the
Gotta
off,
go off
sticking
color.
true to my off color, and it's paying off.
nice. So as you're looking at a bunch of these names that you're grabbing from books, you don't recognize a lot of them. Actually, none of them. You can't really, other than Hive Master Holly and Lak'yr, which were picked up already. You see some names that have a lot of harsh consonants in them, like Rockbull and Zico, and lots of names that you haven't ever heard of being or seen anywhere in the books of Great Grumbopolis or around Great Grumbopolis. So,
Alrighty. Well, as I'm shoveling them in, I'll be like, I think that's everything, knowing, well, that I probably didn't get everything. And then I'll kind of start trying to, like, help Litsea and, like, try to, like, start forcing us to leave.
Okay.
And Blink, what are you up to?
So there's two things that I want to do while in this room. I mean, obviously, watching people try to investigate the well, and people were like, "Oh, it's just water, nothing too crazy, right?" I think I want to go over and take a look myself, and just make sure that there isn't anything funky going on, or have any type of like, maybe I would notice like some magic or something. But
Yeah, roll me a perception.
okay, so 18.
You look far down into the well, far enough. Actually, you would especially know this. You see the outside world. You see forest trees at the bottom of this well. It looks like if you swam far enough down, you could get out.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'm obviously going to relay that to the party and be like, this well leads to the outside world. I can see trees at the bottom of it. And that's all I really want to say to them right now. The second thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of suspiciously look at the ground. I want to look for white hairs, okay?
White hairs.
Yes, I
Any
want to look for white
specific
hairs.
reason why?
I want to specifically look for unicorn hairs
Oh,
in this room.
okay. Roll me a perception.
9.
9.
Yeah.
With a 9, you are looking around. It looks like somebody recently swept. It looks like they keep it pretty tidy in here because they don't necessarily want, other than the blood, they don't necessarily want things being traced back to whoever is here.
That is one thing. So, too, about with the blood, is it all looks? Does it all look like it's recent blood, or does it look like it's like been layered onto the ground over time? And
It looks like it's been. The blood is kind of sticky on the ground because it does have multiple layers.
okay,
They've cleaned the floors, as Blink was able to tell. But however much blood has been flowing in this is too much to be just cleaned regularly.
okay,
So lots of blood.
all right. Is there anything anyone else needs at the moment?
Is there a trash can in the room?
Yes.
There is a trash
yes,
can?
there is a trash can.
Okay. I want to rummage through the trash. What do I see?
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
Okay. 14.
14. Roll me a D100.
Okay. 90.
You find an immovable rod that has a crack through the center of it.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. And that's all I want to do?
Okay, I'll go and say, all right, well, I honestly don't think it's very safe for us to go back to our home, as you call it, but I also don't think it's wise for us to stay here. I think we should go to somewhere else to rest and regain our strength. I propose the wizards. I feel that most parties in this city have some kind of nefarious plot at this point, but I'm willing to ally with somebody else at this point to avoid the repercussions of what has been done today. It is no secret that we entered here, and with everything missing, if they come back, well, I don't want to be a victim to the torture chamber. So, is anyone in disagreement with that?
I'm okay with the wizards. The druids could be a good idea, too.
That's fair. You trust these people?
Yeah, kinda.
Tarkin, where does he hide?
Was that the old man?
Yeah, the dwarf. My memory recalls we saw him run to the mushroom in the center of town.
The clock tower.
Yes. Perhaps we could find refuge with him. He's not necessarily an ally, but he flies under the radar. I don't know anyone else who's not part of an aura that's been able to stay in the city for so long. That would be a safe, potentially neutral thing, and perhaps he's interested in that broken piece of junk you found.
Tess, roll me a history check.
12.
As Lak'yr says Talkin, you think to yourself, that was one of the names on the forgotten bookshelf that I grabbed.
I'm just gonna, that's what I think.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm not gonna go over it yet.
Yeah, that is one thing too, is that I don't know if we already did this, but I'd like to grab basically every book from the forgotten bookshelf and shove it in, just because.
Bag of holding can carry a lot.
Yeah, and like it's almost like forbidden knowledge, and so it intrigues my character that much more to like have it.
Okay.
I think I got most of those.
I thought you did too, but I just wanted to
No, you
Make
did.
sure.
I wanted to clarify that is a priority.
And then, you relayed the information about the outside world to the group?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Perhaps we should keep these hats. It may be a way out in a desperate situation. I feel like we've made a lot of enemies recently.
Yeah. Let's get past the wall, then put them in the bag of holding.
I agree.
I'm definitely keeping my sombrero.
As you should. It's quite becoming on you.
Thank you.
I'll go and say, one moment, and I will snap and have Phoenix around my shoulders again, and I will have the bowler cap on. I'll try to reach my arm through. Does it go through?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to snap on the other side and have him appear there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, like, sit down and look through his eyes. I just want to see if anybody has come into the library while we have been in here.
Roll me a perception.
5 and a 4, so 6.
The outside seems very dim. There doesn't your fox can't really hear anything.
Okay.
But it seems pretty empty.
Okay. I'll say, I think it's safe to go out. I guess I'll go first. Perhaps I can talk us out of any trouble. And I'll say, where are we going?
The mushroom. First, maybe?
I'm fine with that. Tarkin had a force field of some kind. Perhaps he could resummon that for protection. I think Tarkin is the best, and yeah, I'll head out.
Okay. Yeah, so you head out. You don't see anyone in the library.
Cool.
What did the three of you do?
I'm almost sleeping. I don't move. So unless someone grabs me,
I was
I don't
helping
go
Litsea.
anywhere.
Okay. Yeah. So Tess, you like wrap your arm around Litsea, and she's got her sweet helmet and rollerblading gear on, and you can help her out of the wall, and then Blink, you're left last in the room. Is there anything else you'd like to do in this room?
I guess the last thing that I can think of that I would try to check or maybe notice is if my time in the outside world, have I ever seen any of those symbols out in the wilderness? Like come across them by chance, seen them carved on anything?
Yeah, roll me a history check
Okay.
or religion check.
As like we kind of go, I'll say, I'll be up in a moment, and I want to also start looking for my father's book in the library. And see if I can find. I'm not going to spend like a huge amount of time because I'm exhausted, but it's just something that would have crossed my mind on the way out.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
17, by the way.
17. So you were raised by wolves, so you recall seeing carvings on trees in the outside world that had similar shapes to these unholy religious markings.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty much everything I'm gonna do while we're walking. I'm gonna open up my book and look at what's inside.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. I'm also gonna hand you like a good berry while we're like walking out. Just
Awesome.
actually, it depends on how many you got. Because when I turned into a wolf, I assumed I dropped the good berries, so I went back to grab as many as I could.
Well, you threw
I'm curious.
5 at me.
Yeah, so there's
Right.
there's 10. So you have plenty.
Okay.
And they stay for 24 hours. They're not concentration, so.
I rolled a 13 for my investigation check.
Unfortunately, you can't seem to find it. You seem rather tired and wanting to go to sleep, and it doesn't seem worth it to you to find.
Yeah.
So, and there's no ringing to help you find it, so.
Right. Come. Yeah, and then I will start trudging up after them.
Okay. So you head to the mushroom.
Right.
It is, so you exit the library, and to the right of you, kind of towards the outskirts of town a little bit, is the clock tower. And you're able to, are you guys stealthing? Are you guys just walking haphazardly?
I would, like, before we exit the castle itself, I would say, bowler hats in the bag now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And, like, yeah, have them all in, and then I'll be trying to be not noticeable or obvious, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to draw attention to myself, but...
Just out of curiosity, what time
So-
of day is it?
It is nighttime.
Nighttime.
Oh, okay. Then I wouldn't mind trying to sneak around.
It's a longer way, so it might not be worth it. But if we go behind the like church, I feel like there's more like stuff hustling and bustling usually on that other side of town. So if we go around and then come at it from the like the factory and the fountain area, it might be a little easier to just slip in.
I would just say that we probably want to use any foliage around to just like get behind there, break line of sight with the Crimson Guard barracks, and then like start moving at that point, because really they should be the only ones that are up around this time, or at least I would imagine.
Okay. Awesome. So, if everyone wants to roll a stealth check for me.
I got a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
9.
14.
Okay.
Because I'm sleeping.
So,
Scary.
yeah, so Tess and Blink, you guys are kind of clunky as you're going through town. You're kind of causing not a commotion, but like enough noise that people are hearing you and looking towards you as like, but it's nighttime. Not really anyone. You don't think anyone's super caring. It doesn't really seem like it. But you successfully make it to Talkin's like big giant mushroom bell tower. You walk in and it's empty except for Talkin, who is like a dwarven man with like white hair and a really long beard coming down from his chin, and he's rubbing the sides of his head and just saying, I remember. And with that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you for listening to Knocked Prone. I am Cade, the Dungeon Master and GM of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition adventure, and I am joined here by the players.
Mason playing Lak'yr.
Brooklyn playing Litsea.
Danny playing Tess.
Caden playing Blink.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you like our podcast, go ahead and give us a podcast review or share us with a friend if you can't give us a podcast review, because we would love to spread the joy of D&D to everyone. But until next time, we hope you remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you got to do is keep rolling, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.